The condom wrapper was purple, and it was sitting on the floor mat of my Honda like a neon sign that said, "Somebody got screwed in here, and it sure as hell wasn't you." I picked it up with 2 fingers. Trojan. Ribbed. The foil was torn open, which meant somewhere in this car was the actual used rubber, and that thought made my stomach flip. My name's Mark Dalton, 43 years old. I work quality control at a parts distributor outside Hartford. My wife Claire teaches 7th grade English. Our son Luca just turned 17 and got his license 4 months back. He's been borrowing this car, my 2017 Accord, whenever his friends need rides, or he's got a date he doesn't want us knowing about. Normal teenage stuff, except this wasn't normal. I walked into the kitchen holding the wrapper between my thumb and finger like it might bite me. Claire was pouring coffee, still in her bathrobe. Hair up in that messy way she does before she showers. She looked tired. "Found something in the car," I said. She glanced over. "Yeah?" I held up the wrapper. "This." Her face didn't change, not even a flicker. That's what got me. If she'd looked shocked or confused, I might have believed what came next. "Luca's?" she asked, turning back to the coffee pot. "That's what I figured. Gonna have a talk with him." "Go easy. He's a kid. At least he's being safe." She sipped her coffee, didn't look at me. "Better than us at that age, right?" "Yeah, I guess." But something felt wrong. The way she'd barely reacted. The way she'd turned away so fast. The way her voice had that careful, measured tone people use when they're trying too hard to sound casual. Luca came downstairs 20 minutes later. Tall kid, skinny, my nose and Claire's dark hair. He grabbed a granola bar and his backpack. "Luca," I said, "need to talk." He stopped. That teenage sixth sense for trouble kicked in immediately. "What?" I pulled out the wrapper, set it on the counter. "Found this in my car." His face went bright red, then white. His mouth opened and closed. "That's not mine." "It was in the car you've been driving." "Dad, I swear to God that's not mine." His voice cracked. He looked genuinely panicked, not embarrassed. There's a difference. "I haven't had anyone in the car. I'm not." He looked at Claire. "Mom, tell him." Claire set her mug down carefully. "Luca, if you're being irresponsible with girls—" "I'm not!" His voice was too loud now. "I swear. That's not mine. I don't know where it came from, but it's not mine." I watched him. Watched the way his hands were shaking, the way he couldn't stand still. Kids lie about plenty of things, but this kind of fear, this kind of desperation, that's real. "Okay," I said quietly. "Dad." I said, "Okay, get to school." He grabbed his stuff and practically ran out the door. I heard the bus pull up a minute later. I looked at the wrapper, then at Claire. She was staring at the counter, face unreadable. "He's lying," she said. "No," I said slowly. "He's not." Her eyes met mine. Just for a second. Then she looked away. "Then I don't know what to tell you, Mark." She went upstairs to shower. I stood there in the kitchen, holding a purple condom wrapper, and felt the first cold finger of suspicion crawl up my spine. Because if it wasn't Luca's, then whose was it? I spent the whole morning at work thinking about it, running the possibilities. Claire had driven the Accord last week. Tuesday, I think. Said her SUV was making a weird noise and she wanted to get it checked. She'd taken my car to work. Except the weird noise went away by itself. She never mentioned it again. Never took the SUV to a shop. At lunch, I called her. "Hey, quick question. When you drove the Accord last week, did you let anyone else use it? Maybe loan it to one of your teacher friends?" Pause. Too long. "No. Why?" "Just trying to figure out the condom thing." "Mark, let it go. Luca's 17. He's probably embarrassed." "He swore it wasn't his." "Of course he did. He's not going to admit that to his father." Her voice had an edge now. Irritation. Or maybe something else. "I've got to go. Class is starting. She hung up. I sat in my truck in the parking lot, eating a sandwich I couldn't taste, and the cold feeling in my gut got worse. That evening, I went out to the garage and really searched the car, got down on my hands and knees with a flashlight, checked under the seats, between the cushions, in the door pockets, looking for the actual condom or anything else that didn't belong. I didn't find the condom, but I found something else. Tucked way back under the passenger seat was a receipt. I pulled it out, unfolded it. Eddie's Auto Repair. Tuesday, 3:47 p.m. Oil change and tire rotation. Total, $89.50. Claire didn't get an oil change Tuesday. She went to work, then came home. I asked her about her day and she'd said it was fine. Regular day, nothing special. She'd lied. I took a photo of the receipt with my phone, put the receipt back exactly where I found it. Then I went inside and acted like nothing was wrong. At dinner, Claire was chatty, talking about one of her students who'd written a great essay, about a faculty meeting coming up, normal stuff. She seemed relaxed, happy even. I watched her and thought about the receipt and the condom wrapper and tried to make the pieces fit in a way that didn't end with her cheating on me. I couldn't. After Luca went upstairs to do homework, I said casually, "How's your car running?" "Fine," Claire said, loading the dishwasher. "Why?" "You said it was making a noise last week." "Oh, yeah, it stopped. Probably just needed to warm up or something." "You didn't take it to a mechanic?" She straightened, looked at me. "No, should I have?" "Just wondering. Wanted to make sure you were safe." "I'm fine, Mark. The car's fine." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You worry too much." Maybe, or maybe I wasn't worrying enough. That night, I couldn't sleep. Lay there next to Claire in the dark, listening to her breathe, and my mind wouldn't shut up. The condom, the receipt, the lie. They circled around and around like sharks. At 2 a.m, I got up, went downstairs, grabbed my laptop and searched for Eddie's Auto Repair. Small shop off Route 44, family owned. The website showed 3 guys in coveralls standing in front of a garage bay. I clicked on the About Us page. Eddie Carver, owner, 38 years old, worked on cars since he was 16. The photo showed him grinning at the camera. Good-looking guy. Dark hair, strong jawline, confident smile, the kind of smile that probably made women do stupid things. I clicked through the rest of the website. Nothing useful. Just photos of the shop, testimonials, hours of operation. But then I noticed something. In one of the background photos, you could see a black Mustang parked outside. Newer model, probably 2020 or 2021. Nice car, racing stripes down the hood. I stared at that photo for a long time. Then I went back to bed. But I didn't sleep. The next morning, Friday, I called in sick. Told my supervisor I had a stomach bug. Then I drove to Eddie's Auto Repair. The shop was tucked between a Dollar General and a Thai restaurant. 2 bays, both full of cars in various states of disassembly. The black Mustang was parked out front, same one from the website photo. I parked down the street and waited. At noon, a woman came out of the shop. Short, blonde, carrying a toolbox. She got into a Toyota pickup and drove off. Not Claire. At 12:30, a guy came out. Late 50s, balding, wearing coveralls with Eddie's embroidered on the chest. He locked up the bay and walked to the Thai restaurant. At 12:40, Claire's white SUV pulled into the lot. My heart stopped. She parked near the side of the building, out of sight from the street. Got out, looked around, then walked to the side door and went inside. I sat there gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. 5 minutes later, the side door opened. Claire came out. Behind her was a guy. Dark hair, strong build, wearing a gray t-shirt with grease stains. He was smiling at her. She was smiling back. Eddie Carver. Had to be. They stood close. Too close. He said something and she laughed. Then he reached out and touched her arm. Just a light touch. Casual. But the way she leaned into it wasn't casual at all. They talked for another minute. Then she got in her SUV and left. He watched her go, still smiling. Then he went back inside. I sat there for maybe 20 minutes. Couldn't move. Couldn't think. Just sat there feeling like someone had kicked me in the chest. Finally, I started the truck and drove home. Didn't remember the drive. 1 minute I was sitting outside Eddie's shop. The next, I was pulling into my garage. Inside, I poured a glass of water. Drank it. Poured another. My hands were shaking. She was cheating on me. My wife of 19 years was sleeping with a mechanic named Eddie Carver. And I'd caught her. The question was, what was I going to do about it? I didn't confront her that night. Or the next day. I needed proof. Real proof. Not just a receipt and a lunch visit that could maybe be explained away. So I started watching. Really watching. Saturday, Claire said she was going grocery shopping. I followed her. She went to the grocery store, spent 40 minutes inside, came out with bags. Then she drove to Eddie's shop. Parked in the same spot. Went inside through the side door. This time she was in there for 2 hours. I sat in my truck down the street, watching the clock on my phone, watching the side door, and feeling my anger grow from a cold knot into something hot and sharp. When she finally came out, her hair was messy. Her shirt was untucked. She got in her SUV quickly, kept her head down, and drove away fast. I followed her home, parked a block away, and waited 10 minutes. When I walked in, she was putting groceries away like nothing had happened. "Hey," she said, smiling. "Can you help me with these?" I looked at her messy hair and her untucked shirt and her smile. At the woman I'd loved for 19 years who was lying right to my face. "Sure," I said. Sunday, I installed a tracking app on her phone. It wasn't hard. One of those parental monitoring apps you can set up remotely if you have the phone's login credentials. I had them. She'd told me her password years ago, never changed it. Took me less than 5 minutes while she was in the shower. Monday through Wednesday, I tracked her. School, home, grocery store, Target, school. Normal routine. Thursday, she went to Eddie's, 3:30 in the afternoon, stayed for 90 minutes. Friday, same thing. 4 o'clock, 2 hours. By the end of the week, I had a file on my laptop. Screenshots of the tracking app, photos I'd taken of her SUV at the shop, timestamps, dates, everything organized and documented. I also started going through our credit card statements, found charges I'd missed before. Antonio's, a restaurant in the next town over. 127th on a Tuesday night in March. Claire had said she was at book club that night. The Lakeview Motel. $89 on a Wednesday afternoon in April. She'd said she was at a teacher training. Little lies, dozens of them, going back months. I printed everything out, put it in a manila folder, hid it in my truck. Then I waited. Saturday night, we had dinner with Claire's sister and her husband, Linda and Paul. They lived in West Hartford, nice neighborhood with big houses and perfect lawns. Linda taught at a private school. Paul was an accountant. They were the kind of people who said things like summer house and our wine guy without irony. Over dinner, Linda was talking about some drama at her school. A teacher who'd been caught having an affair with a parent. The scandal had blown up. Teacher got fired, parent got divorced. Whole thing was a mess. "It's so stupid," Linda said, sipping her wine. "Like, why risk everything for some fling? Was it really worth it?" "People make mistakes," Claire said quietly. "This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice, a selfish one." Linda shook her head. "I feel bad for the wife. She had no idea. Found out from someone's Facebook post. Can you imagine?" "That's awful," Paul said. "It is," I agreed. "Nothing worse than being lied to by someone you trust." Claire looked at me. Our eyes met. Something flickered across her face. "More wine?" Paul asked, holding up the bottle. "Sure," I said, still looking at Claire. "Why not?" After dinner, in the car, Claire was quiet. "You okay?" I asked. "Fine. Just tired." Linda was pretty harsh about that teacher. "She has strong opinions." Do you think she was wrong? About it being a choice, not a mistake? Claire stared out the window. I think people are complicated. Sometimes they do things that don't make sense, even to themselves. That's a very understanding perspective. Is it? Yeah, almost like you're defending her. I'm not defending anyone, Mark. I'm just saying it's not always black and white. Cheating seems pretty black and white to me. She didn't respond, just kept staring out the window until we got home. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to just confront her and ask for a divorce. I wasn't going to quietly walk away. I was going to make them both pay. The next day, Sunday, I drove to Eddie's shop. It was closed, but the black Mustang was there. I parked down the street and walked up. The Mustang was beautiful, pristine, not a scratch on it. Custom paint job, chrome wheels, leather interior I could see through the window. Eddie clearly loved this car, probably spent every spare dollar on it. I looked around. No cameras that I could see, no one on the street. Just me and the Mustang. I took out my keys and dragged them down the driver's side door. Deep scratch, right through the paint to the metal. Then I did the passenger side, then the trunk. Then I popped the hood, found the battery, disconnected the negative terminal, took the nut with me. I left a note under the windshield wiper, folded once. Karma's a bitch, so is yours. Then I walked back to my truck and drove away. My heart was pounding, my hands were shaking, but for the first time in 2 weeks, I felt something other than rage and hurt. I felt alive. Monday night I was at O'Malley's, a bar near my work, having a beer, watching the game, trying to act normal. Eddie walked in. He saw me immediately, walked straight over. His face was red, jaw clenched. "You," he said. I looked up. "Me what?" "You scratched my car." "I don't know what you're talking about." "Bullshit. You left a note." "Did I? What did it say?" He grabbed my shirt, pulled me half out of my chair. People were starting to stare. "You need to stay away from me," Eddie hissed. "Stay away from my shop, stay away from my car, or we're going to have a problem." I looked at his hand on my shirt, then at his face. Up close, I could see the sweat on his forehead, the vein pulsing in his temple. He was scared. Under the anger, he was scared. Good. "Get your hand off me," I said quietly. "Not until you—" I shoved him, hard. He stumbled back, knocked into a table. Beer bottles crashed to the floor. The bartender yelled. People were standing now, watching. Eddie came at me, swung wild. I ducked, and his fist hit the wall behind me. He yelled, clutched his hand. "Enough!" The bartender was coming around the bar. "Both of you out, now!" Eddie pointed at me with his good hand. "This isn't over." "No," I agreed. "It's not." He left. I finished my beer, paid, and walked out. My hands were still shaking, but I was smiling. Let him be scared. Let him wonder what I was going to do next, because I was just getting started. The rumor started small. A comment to Janet Peterson at the PTA meeting. Janet was the kind of woman who knew everyone's business and made sure everyone else did too. She'd been on the PTA board for 12 years, ran the school newsletter, organized every bake sale and fundraiser. If you wanted information to spread, you told Janet. "My wife's been spending a lot of time at that mechanic shop on Route 44, I said casually, stirring my coffee. "Eddie's place, you know it?" Janet's eyes lit up. "Eddie's auto repair?" "That's the one. She goes there a lot. Like, multiple times a week." "For car trouble?" "That's what she says. But her car runs fine." I shrugged. Maybe he's just really thorough. Janet's expression said she understood exactly what I was implying. "Interesting. Yeah, anyway, I'm sure it's nothing." "I'm sure," Janet agreed, but her smile said otherwise. By Wednesday, 3 different people had asked me how Claire was doing. By Friday, Linda called. "Mark, is everything okay with you and Claire?" "Fine. Why?" "Someone told me there's a rumor going around about Claire and some mechanic." "Oh, that. Yeah, people talk. You know how it is. So it's not true? I didn't say that. Silence. Then, Mark, what's going on? Ask your sister. I hung up. That evening, Claire came home upset. Linda called me today, said there's gossip about me at school, about me and Eddie. Eddie? I looked up from my laptop. Your mechanic? He's not. She stopped, caught herself. Yes, my mechanic. Someone's saying we're having an affair. Are you? Her face went white. What? Are you having an affair with Eddie? No, of course not. Mark, how can you even ask that? I stood up, walked to where she was standing, got right in her face. Because you've been going to his shop 2 or 3 times a week. Because I found a condom in my car. Because you've been lying about where you are and what you're doing. So yeah, I'm asking. I haven't been lying. Tuesday in March, you said you were at book club. Credit card shows Antonio's restaurant. $94. That was Wednesday in April. Teacher training. Except the Lakeview Motel charged us $89 that afternoon. She was trembling. You've been spying on me. You've been cheating on me. I want a divorce, she said. Good, so do I. She grabbed her purse and keys and left. Door slammed so hard a picture fell off the wall. I sat back down, opened my laptop, and smiled. The next day, I took the folder from my truck to work, made copies of everything, the photos, the credit card statements, the tracking app screenshots. Then I mailed 1 set to Linda, 1 to Claire's principal, 1 to Eddie's auto repair with a note. Your employee is unprofessional, thought you should know. Sunday, Eddie's boss called Eddie into work. I know because I drove by the shop and saw them arguing in the parking lot. The boss was red-faced, waving papers. Eddie was trying to explain something. It didn't look like it was going well. Monday, Claire got called into the principal's office. She came home in tears. They asked me if I was having an affair, she said. The principal actually asked me that. Said someone sent evidence. What did you say? I said no. But that's a lie. It's not your business anymore, Mark. We're getting divorced. You're right. It's not my business. But it's the school's business, and Eddie's boss's business, and everyone else who you've been lying to. You're destroying my life. You destroyed it yourself. I'm just making sure everyone knows. She threw a glass at me. It shattered against the wall behind my head. Feel better? I asked. She screamed and ran upstairs. I cleaned up the glass. Then I called my lawyer, guy named James Barton who specialized in divorce. I'd found him the week before. I want to file, I told him, and I want full custody of my son. On what grounds? Infidelity. I've got proof, lots of it. Send it over. I'll draw up the papers. Wednesday, Claire got served at school, right in the middle of her lunch period. Process server walked into the teacher's lounge and handed her the papers in front of 6 other teachers. Luca called me that afternoon, confused and hurt. Dad, what's happening? Mom's freaking out. Your mom and I are getting divorced, son. I'm sorry. I know this is hard. Is it because of the condom thing? Smart kid. Too smart sometimes. Partly, and other things. Did Mom cheat on you? I closed my eyes. Yeah, she did. With who? A mechanic. Guy named Eddie. Silence. Then, that's messed up. Yeah, it is. Are you okay, Dad? I will be. We both will be. That night, Eddie called me. You need to stop. Stop what? All of it. The vandalism, the rumors, sending shit to my boss. It ends now. Or what? Or I'll make you stop. Looking forward to it, I said, and hung up. I wasn't scared of Eddie. I was past scared, past reasonable. I was focused, and that made me dangerous. Thursday morning, I got up early, drove to Eddie's shop before it opened. The Mustang was there, parked in back. I checked around. No cameras still, no witnesses. I let the air out of all 4 tires. Then I poured a bag of sugar in the gas tank. Then I spray-painted Home Wrecker across the windshield. Then I left. 2 hours later, Eddie figured out it was me. How, I don't know. Maybe he saw my truck. Maybe Claire told him. Either way, he showed up at my work. Security stopped him at the gate, but he was yelling, screaming about how I was crazy, how he was going to kill me, how I'd better watch my back. They called the cops. By the time they arrived, Eddie was gone. But now, I had a police report, documentation of his threats. Check. Friday evening, I left work late, 6:30, already dark. I was thinking about dinner, about whether Luca wanted pizza or Chinese, when I noticed headlights behind me. Close. Too close. I sped up. The headlights stayed right on my bumper. I changed lanes. They changed lanes. My heart started pounding. I knew that car, black Mustang with racing stripes. Eddie. He'd fixed it, or gotten it running enough to drive. And now he was on my tail, riding my bumper on Route 44, doing 60 in a 45. I sped up to 70. He stayed right there. We came up on a red light. I should have stopped. Instead, I gunned it, ran the light, heard horns blaring behind me. Eddie ran it too. The Mustang pulled alongside me. Eddie was yelling something. I couldn't hear, but I could see his face, twisted with rage. He swerved into my lane. I jerked the wheel right. My truck clipped the curb, bounced. I fought for control. Eddie swerved again, hit my rear quarter panel, metal crunched. We were coming up on the shopping plaza. I saw my chance, slammed the brakes and yanked the wheel right. My truck skidded into the parking lot, fishtailed. I corrected, straightened out. Eddie shot past, couldn't stop in time. He kept going, brake lights flashing. I pulled behind the plaza, parked next to a dumpster, and sat there shaking. My phone rang. Claire. Did you do something to Eddie's car? She demanded. He just tried to run me off the road. What? Your boyfriend. He followed me from work, tried to wreck my truck. You might want to tell him to calm down before someone gets hurt. Mark, this has to stop. You're right, it does. Tell Eddie to stay away from me, and you stay away from me too. Talk to your lawyer, not to me. I hung up. My hands were still shaking. But underneath the adrenaline was something cold and clear. Eddie had just made a huge mistake, because now he'd crossed a line. Now he'd made it physical in a way I could use. Saturday morning, I filed a police report. Attempted assault with a vehicle. Gave them Eddie's name, his plate number, everything. The cop was skeptical until I showed him the damage to my truck. Then he took it seriously. We'll talk to him, the cop said. Thanks. I also called my insurance, told them what happened. They said they'd investigate. By Monday, Eddie had a visit from the police. By Tuesday, his insurance company was calling him. By Wednesday, he'd hired a lawyer. The pressure was building, and I wasn't done yet. Wednesday night, we had a family barbecue at my brother-in-law's house. Paul had invited us before the separation was public. Claire and I both showed up, because neither of us wanted to explain to Paul's kids why Aunt Claire and Uncle Mark weren't talking. It was awkward. Claire stayed on one side of the yard, I stayed on the other. Linda kept looking between us like she was watching a tennis match. Halfway through dinner, Claire stood up. She had this look on her face, determined, like she'd made a decision. Everyone, she said, I need to say something. The yard went quiet. Paul turned off the grill. Linda stopped mid-bite. Mark and I are separating, Claire said. Her voice was shaky but clear. And it's because Mark has become emotionally abusive. He's been stalking me, vandalizing property, making my life hell. I want everyone to know that I'm the victim here. She looked at me, daring me to argue. I stood up slowly, pulled out my phone. That's interesting, Claire, because I've got evidence that tells a different story. Want me to share it? Her face went pale. Mark, I held up the phone. I've got photos of you at Eddie's auto repair, time-stamped, multiple visits, hours at a time. I've got credit card receipts from motels and restaurants on days you said you were somewhere else. I've got text messages. I've even got this. I played a recording. Claire's voice from an argument last week. Eddie and I have a connection. You wouldn't understand. The yard was dead silent. Claire was shaking. You recorded me? In our house. which is legal in Connecticut. One-party consent. You bastard. Maybe, but at least I'm not a cheater. She grabbed her purse and ran. Linda followed. Paul just stood there, mouth open. I sat back down. Sorry for the drama, folks. Anyone want more potato salad? Nobody laughed, but I didn't care. Claire had tried to make me the villain, and I'd flipped the script. Later that night, Linda called me. Is it all true? Everything you said? Every word. Jesus, Mark, I had no idea. Neither did I, until I found the condom in my car. What are you going to do? Whatever I have to. The twist came from the most boring source imaginable. A credit report. I'd been going through our financial records, preparing for the divorce, when I noticed something strange. There was a hard inquiry on Claire's credit from 6 months ago, from Capital Bank, for a personal loan application. We didn't have any loans with Capital Bank. I called them, pretended to be checking on the status of an application. What name is the loan under? The rep asked. Claire Dalton. Typing sounds. I show an application from March, but it was denied. Insufficient income. What was the loan for? It doesn't say specifically, the application just lists personal expenses. $20,000. She tried to borrow $20,000. For what? I dug deeper. Checked her bank accounts, the ones I could still access. Found transfers I'd missed before. 500 here, 1,000 there, all going to a Venmo account. I looked up the Venmo. The username was Evie Carver 88. Eddie Carver, born in 1988. She'd been sending him money. I sat back, trying to piece it together. Then I had a thought. Went to the county clerk's website, searched for Eddie Carver's name in the court records. Found it. Civil suit. Filed 8 months ago. Capital One Bank versus Edward J. Carver. Unpaid credit card debt. $32,000. Judgment entered 6 months ago. Garnishment order active. Eddie was broke. Deep in debt. And Claire had been trying to help him. But there was more. I searched his name in the marriage records. Found it. Edward J. Carver married to Angela Price. 7 years ago. No divorce filing in this county. Eddie was married. I printed everything. Put it in the folder. Then I called Eddie's shop. Got the main number. Eddie's Auto, a woman answered. Older voice, maybe his mom or his boss's wife. Hi, I'm trying to reach Angela Carver. Is she available? Angela? She doesn't work here. Oh, I thought she might. She's Eddie's wife, right? Pause. Yes, but they separated. Why are you asking? Just trying to reach her about a personal matter. Do you have her number? I can't give that out. That's okay. I'll find her. Thanks. I hung up. Searched Angela Carver on Facebook. Found her immediately. She worked at a dental office in Manchester. Posted photos of her 2 kids. Still wore a wedding ring in her profile picture even though the posts suggested she was single. I sent her a message. Hi, Angela. You don't know me, but I think we should talk. My wife is having an affair with your husband. We might be able to help each other. She responded in 10 minutes. Who is this? Mark Dalton. My wife is Claire. I've got proof if you want to see it. Send it. I sent the photos, the credit card receipts, everything. She called me 5 minutes later. That son of a bitch. Yeah. He told me he was seeing someone, but he said it was over. Said he ended it. I was considering reconciling. When did he tell you that? Last month. These photos are from last week. I'm going to kill him. Get in line. But I've got a better idea. Let's both hit him where it hurts. We talked for an hour. By the end, we had a plan. Friday afternoon, Angela showed up at Eddie's shop. I know because I was parked down the street watching. She went inside. 5 minutes later, I heard yelling. Loud, high-pitched, Angela screaming, Eddie yelling back, things crashing. The boss came running out of the office. Other mechanics came out of the bays. Angela stormed out, got in her car, and left. But the damage was done. Everyone at that shop now knew Eddie was a cheater, a liar, a guy who couldn't be trusted. Saturday, Eddie showed up at my house. I was in the garage, organizing tools, when I heard the Mustang pull up. He got out, slammed the door, walked toward me with his fists clenched. "This is your fault," he said. "What is?" "Angela, my job, everything. You ruined my life. You ruined it yourself when you started screwing my wife. She told me you were separated. Did she? And you believed her? Did you ask to see divorce papers? Or did you just take her word for it because you wanted to get laid?" He swung at me. I was ready this time. Ducked and he missed. Then I shove. He swung at me. I was ready this time. Ducked and he missed. Then I shoved him hard in the chest. He stumbled back, tripped over the curb, and went down on his ass in the driveway. "Get off my property," I said, "before I call the cops." He got up slowly, brushing gravel off his jeans. "This isn't over, Dalton." "Yeah, it is. You're done. Your boss knows, your wife knows, Claire knows, everyone knows what you are." He spit on the ground. "You'll regret this." "No," I said. "You will." He got in his Mustang and peeled out, tires screeching. I went inside. Luca was standing in the kitchen, wide-eyed. "Dad, was that?" "Yeah, that was Eddie." "What did he want?" "To scare me. Didn't work." Luca nodded slowly. "You okay?" "Yeah, son, I'm fine." But I wasn't. My hands were shaking again. The adrenaline crash was coming. I poured a glass of whiskey and sat at the table. Luca sat across from me. "What now?" "Now we wait for the lawyers to sort it out." "No. I mean, with Mom, with everything." "I don't know, Luca, but we'll figure it out. You and me." He nodded. "Yeah, we will." Monday morning, Claire's lawyer called, a woman named Karen Weiss, sharp voice, no nonsense. "Mr. Dalton, my client is requesting a temporary restraining order against you." "On what grounds?" "Harassment, stalking, vandalism." "I haven't done any of that." "We have evidence. Photos of damage to Mr. Carver's vehicle, threats made to Ms. Dalton." "Claire sent you those?" "Ms. Dalton is concerned for her safety." I laughed. "She's the one who cheated. She's the one who lied. And now she's scared of me?" "Mr. Dalton, this can go easy or hard. Cooperate, and maybe we can work something out." "Tell Claire to go to hell, and you can talk to my lawyer from now on." I hung up and called James Barton. "They want a TRO, I told him. "Expected. Don't worry. We've got the police reports on Eddie, the assault, the threats. We'll counter with our own." "Good. And Mark, stay away from Eddie. Let the system work now." "I will." But Eddie didn't stay away from me. Tuesday night, I was coming home from work. Dark already. Autumn coming fast. I turned onto my street and saw headlights behind me. Close. Too close. The Mustang. I sped up. He sped up. I ran a stop sign. He ran it too. My phone was in my pocket. I fumbled for it. Hit the emergency button. 911, what's your emergency?" "A guy's following me, trying to run me off the road." "Where are you?" "Elm Street, heading toward Maine." "Stay on the line. Units are en route." Eddie pulled alongside, rolled down his window, yelled something I couldn't hear over the engines. Then he swerved into me. Metal crunched. My truck jerked left. I fought the wheel, overcorrected, skidded. Eddie hit me again, harder. My truck spun, hit the curb, flipped. The world turned upside down. Glass shattered, metal screamed, then everything went black. I woke up in the hospital. Luca was there, looking scared. Barton was there too. "What happened?" I croaked. "You crashed," Luca said. "That asshole Eddie rammed you." "Where is he?" "Arrested," Barton said. "Attempted murder, vehicular assault, bunch of other charges. He's done." "Good. Claire's here too, outside, wants to see you." I thought about it. "No." Luca looked at me. "Dad?" "No, I don't want to see her." Barton nodded. "I'll tell her." Luca squeezed my hand. "I'm glad you're okay, Dad." "Me too, son." The crash changed everything. Eddie was in jail, bail denied, flight risk, history of violence, apparently. Angela told the cops about times he'd hit her, old reports, never pressed charges, but now it all came out. Claire came to the hospital the next day. I let her in this time. She looked like hell, eyes red, hair messy, no makeup. "Mark," she said, voice breaking, "I'm so sorry." "For what? Cheating? Lying? Or getting me almost killed?" "All of it. I never thought Eddie would—" "But you knew he was violent. Angela told you, didn't she?" She looked away. "Yes. And you still—" "I was stupid. I thought I loved him." "Loved." I laughed and it hurt my ribs. "Past tense?" "Yes, it's over. Completely." "Too late, Claire." "I know, but I want to make it right." "You can't." "The divorce. I'll agree to whatever you want. The house, custody, everything." "Good, because that's what I'm taking." She nodded, wiped her eyes. "I deserve it." "Yeah, you do." She left. I lay there staring at the ceiling, feeling empty. Barton came by later. "We can add this to the divorce case. Attempted murder by her lover. Judge will eat it up." "Do it." "And Angela's filing, too. She's going for full custody of the kids." "Good." By the end of the week, I was out of the hospital. Bruised ribs, concussion, cuts and bruises, but alive. Luca drove me home, helped me inside. "Thanks, son." "No problem, Dad." We sat on the couch, watched TV. Didn't talk much, didn't need to. The divorce moved fast after that. Claire didn't fight, signed everything. I got the house, primary custody of Luca, most of the savings. She got her car, her clothes, a small settlement. She moved in with Linda. Paul wasn't thrilled, but family is family. Eddie pled guilty to reduced charges, vehicular assault, reckless endangerment, got 5 years, with good behavior, out in 3. Angela got the divorce, full custody, moved back to her parents in Maine with the kids. Me? I got back to work, got back to life, took Luca to baseball games, helped him with college apps, tried to be a good dad. But at night, when the house was quiet, I thought about Claire, about 19 years thrown away for some grease monkey with anger issues, about how close I'd come to dying, about how revenge almost killed me. One night, Luca found me in the garage, staring at nothing. "Dad, you okay?" "Yeah, just thinking." "About Mom?" "About everything." He sat down next to me. "You did what you had to do." "Did I?" "Yeah, she cheated, lied, you fought back. But look what it cost. Would you do it differently?" I thought about it, about letting it go, about walking away quietly. "No," I said, "I wouldn't." He nodded. "Me neither." We sat there in silence, father and son, survivors. 6 months after the divorce, I started dating again. Woman named Sarah. Met her at Luca's baseball game. She was the coach's sister. Blonde, funny, kind eyes. We took it slow, coffee dates, walks in the park. No rush. Luca liked her. That was important. One night over dinner, Sarah asked about Claire. I told her the story, the condom, the affair, the revenge, the crash. "Wow," she said, "that's intense." "Yeah." "Do you regret it? The revenge part?" "Sometimes. It got out of hand. But you survived." "Yeah, I did." She reached across the table, took my hand. "I'm glad." "Me too." A year after the crash, Eddie got out on parole, moved to Florida, started over. Claire remarried. Some guy she met online, moved to Boston. Luca visits sometimes, says she's happy. Me? I'm happy too. Sarah and I got engaged. Luca's in college now, studying engineering, comes home on weekends. The scar from the crash aches sometimes when it rains, reminds me. But mostly, I don't think about it. About Claire or Eddie or any of it. Life moves on. Wounds heal. Salt washes away. Eventually. 2 years post-divorce, Luca came home for summer break. He looked taller, more confident. College was shaping him. "Dad, I met someone," he said over beer in the backyard. "Yeah? Her name's Mia, sophomore, pre-med. Sounds smart. She is. You'll like her. Bring her home sometime." "I will." We grilled burgers. Sarah joined us. Laughter filled the air. It felt good. Normal. That night, a letter arrived. From Claire. "Mark, I hope you're well. Luca tells me about you and Sarah. I'm happy for you, truly. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I hope someday you can find it in your heart. Take care." I read it twice, then folded it away. Forgiveness? Maybe. Someday, but not today. Sarah and I married in the fall. Small ceremony, Luca best man. Linda came, Claire didn't. Honeymoon in Hawaii, beaches, sunsets, peace. Back home, life settled. Work, weekends with Luca, evenings with Sarah. One day, I ran into Janet Peterson at the grocery store. "Mark, heard about Eddie Carver, back in jail. Violated parole." "Oh?" "Yeah, assaulted some guy in Florida. Guess he didn't learn." "Guess not." She leaned in. "You were right about him and Claire. Everyone knows now." I nodded. "Water under the bridge." She looked surprised. "You're over it?" "Yeah, I am." And I was. 3 years on, Luca graduated. We celebrated big. Sarah, me, his friends, even Claire and her husband. Awkward at first, but civil. For Luca's sake. After, Claire pulled me aside. "Thank you for inviting us." "He's your son too." She nodded. "You've been a good father, Mark. Better than I deserved as a co-parent." "Thanks. No hard feelings?" I thought about it. The anger was gone, just a faint echo. "No. No hard feelings." She smiled. First real one in years. "Good." Sarah got pregnant. Twins. We bought a bigger house, prepared for chaos. Luca got a job in Boston, close to Claire. They rebuilt their relationship slowly. I retired early, started consulting. More time for family. Life was good. Full. The wound? Healed. No salt left, just memories and lessons. 5 years after finding that purple wrapper, I sat on the porch watching the twins play. Sarah beside me, hand in mine. "Thinking about the past?" she asked. "A little." "Regrets?" "None." She squeezed my hand. "Good." Luca called. "Dad, Mia's pregnant." "Congratulations." "Yeah, excited." We talked, laughed, planned visits. Hanging up, I smiled. Life cycles. Pain fades. Joy returns. The end? No. Just the beginning. 5 years after finding that purple wrapper, I sat on the porch watching the twins play. Sarah beside me, hand in mine. The air was warm, summer settling into Connecticut with a golden haze. The twins, Ellie and Max, chased each other across the lawn, their laughter sharp and bright. It was the kind of moment you wanted to bottle up and keep forever. "Thinking about the past?" Sarah asked, her voice soft. "A little." "Regrets?" "None." She squeezed my hand. "Good." Luca called that evening, his voice crackling with excitement. "Dad, Mia's pregnant." "Congratulations." "Yeah, excited, nervous too." "You'll be a great dad, son." "Thanks. Hey, Mom wants to talk to you. That okay?" I hesitated. "Sure." Claire came on the line. "Mark, just wanted to say congrats on the twins. Luca showed me pictures. They're beautiful." "Thanks, Claire. And I'm happy for you. You and Sarah, you deserve it." "Appreciate that." A pause. "I'm trying to be better. For Luca, for his kid." "That's good. He'll need you." "Yeah. Take care, Mark." "You too." Hanging up, I smiled. Life cycles. Pain fades. Joy returns. Fall brought new rhythms. The twins started preschool, a whirlwind of tiny backpacks and tearful drop-offs. Sarah and I took turns, juggling work and parenting. I'd scaled back consulting, picking projects that let me stay close to home. Mornings were chaos, spilled cereal, missing shoes, but evenings were ours. We'd cook together, Sarah teasing me about my terrible knife skills, the twins giggling from their high chairs. One Saturday, Luca and Mia visited. Mia's pregnancy was just starting to show, a gentle curve under her sweater. We sat in the living room, talking about names, cribs, the overwhelming joy and terror of impending parenthood. "You scared?" I asked Luca. "Terrified," he admitted. "But Mia keeps me grounded." She smiled, nudging him. "He's already reading baby books." "Good man," I said. After they left, Sarah looked at me. "You're a good dad, Mark. Luca's lucky. He's a good kid. Makes it easy." She kissed me. "You make it look easy." Winter came, and with it, Luca's daughter was born. Lily, tiny, perfect, with his eyes and Mia's nose. I drove to Boston to meet her, Sarah and the twins in tow. Claire was there too, at the hospital, holding her granddaughter with a softness I hadn't seen in years. "Mark," she said, looking up. "She's incredible, isn't she?" "Yeah, she is." We stood there, not quite family but tied by this new life. For Lily's sake, we were civil, maybe even kind. Back home, Sarah and I hung a photo of Lily on the wall, next to ones of the twins. Our family was growing, sprawling across states, connected by love and time. One night, I got a call from Angela, Eddie's ex-wife. "Mark? Been a while." "Yeah, how you doing?" "Okay, kids are growing. I'm remarried now. Just wanted to check in. Heard about your twins. Congrats." "Thanks. You sound good." "I am. You?" "Same." A pause. "Eddie's out again. Moved to Nevada. Says he's changed. I don't believe it." "Don't blame you. Anyway, just wanted to say, I'm glad we got through it. You and me." "Me too." Spring again. 6 years since the rapper. The twins were 4, wild and curious. Sarah started painting again, her old passion rekindled. I built a small studio in the backyard, where she'd work late, music drifting through the open window. Luca and Mia brought Lily for Easter. We hid eggs, ate too much candy, laughed until our sides hurt. Claire sent a card, a bunny for Lily. I sent one back. Small gestures, but they meant something. One evening, I found an old photo in a drawer. Me, Claire, Luca at the zoo. He was 7, grinning with ice cream on his face. I stared at it, waiting for the old ache. It didn't come. I showed it to Sarah. "Look at this." She smiled. "You all look happy." We were. For a while. "You okay?" "Yeah, I am." I put the photo back. Not in a box, not hidden away. Just back in the drawer. Part of the story, but not the whole thing. Summer rolled in. The twins' preschool graduation was a riot of tiny caps and gowns. Luca and Mia came, Lily toddling between them. We celebrated with a barbecue, neighbors and friends spilling into the backyard. Janet Peterson stopped by, her gossip days tempered by time. "Mark, you've got a beautiful family." "Thanks, Janet. Never thought you'd come out the other side so well." "Surprised myself, too." Later, Sarah and I sat on the porch swing, watching fireflies. "This is it, isn't it?" she said. "What?" "Happiness." I kissed her. "Yeah, this is it." The wound was gone. No salt, no sting, just life, full and messy and ours. The end.